Is it going to preempt Young Sheldon?
I don't know. Probably.
Damn it!
Probably.
Don't. I'm not interested in anything he has to say.
Well, I mean, okay. It's not like I'm Mr. Current Events or anything. I just so happen to know that it's tonight. So yeah, I'm not certain what television programs will be preempted by
Preempted
that.
by
Yeah,
I mean, there's important things going on. I don't need that.
Hey, I hear you, man. That's why. But yeah, I think it starts at 7. So I don't know. Maybe it starts. It could be like as soon as we're done here, it starts.
Ooh, I hope.
I
I
mean,
hope
could it
as
might
I drive
it,
home.
it might preempt Dylan's
Yeah,
live stream.
man, Dylan's going to miss out.
I don't know. Hey, everybody, does the microphone sound? I'm going to ask everybody. Does the microphone sound any better today than it did Friday?
Last Friday was the day.
Because there was Chris told me that there was a thing. I didn't hear it, so I don't know, but I have every reason to believe him.
Yep.
Sound is off, needs work. Okay, well, so what? I mean, maybe let's switch to mono now. Okay, so we switched. So now what? Steve says sounds better on his end.
How's it sound now?
Hi, Mike. How are you? Yeah, how's it sound now after we made one change, one alteration already? Oh, Mike Beckloff's Challenger level 4 with the Charlie Christian pickup in it is like so excellent looking.
It is. I know.
Butch says it's fine. Okay, there you go.
All right, we'll run with it.
Let's go with that. Doug Slacker Deluxe says it sounds okay to me.
Okay, good. Slacker, not that I don't trust the other guys, but Slacker Deluxe I definitely trust.
Yeah, I think Doug would shoot us straight.
Yeah, Doug would shoot us straight.
Yeah.
Yep.
So why are you or is it time to go? Hey everybody, this is Matt. We're at Texas Toast Guitars, blah blah. So why are you looking at thinking about pick guards for carved tops? Is it to one, like, do a no neck pickup guitar, or is it to add a piece of plastic to a carved top guitar, a la the Les Paul with that kind of little pick guard?
Yeah,
and other
that's kind of what I was thinking. Was yeah. There are some people that think a pick guard is classy.
Who are those people?
On a Les Paul.
You know, every Les Paul that I have had, and it's not been a lot, but it's been a few. Every new one that I've gotten, I've never put the pickguard on.
Yeah.
And I always liked that the pickguard didn't come installed, because then you don't have that hole in the binding on the other side.
Yeah. That hole doesn't bother me as much as the one on the top.
Yeah.
So.
And on the Les Pauls that I've gotten used, I've always pulled the pickguard off because I don't think it looks cool. I guess maybe on a tobacco burst it might look cooler.
Yeah, it depends on the guitar.
Yeah. What do you guys think? Does a pickguard on a Les Paul do the same thing that a pickguard on, like, say, Jazzmaster does?
Well, those pickguards are designed to cover up a bunch of shit.
But my point is that Fenders are generally. I like to think of Fenders, but it's not, which is not true. But Fenders are more pickguard guitars, and Gibsons are, in my tiny brain, not pickguard. But the fact of the matter is, the SG has a pickguard, the Explorer has a pickguard, the Flying V has a pickguard. All of them have pickguards, and the reason that they have pickguards is because they route a wiring race.
Yeah,
and then cover it up.
It's a good way to hide stuff.
Which to me,
it's a good way to not scratch up the top of a guitar.
But it's. I think it is noteworthy to say that it's a good way to hide stuff. Was the first thing that you said. So since our Challenger guitars, we're not hiding anything.
No.
It's, to me, it seems like adding a piece of plastic to this beauty Well, I don't know that it's gonna I don't think it's gonna do anything but detract from how otherwise awesome it is. But I'm totally biased because because I remember the day that this guitar came into being.
Mm-hmm.
Not this one,
Right.
this shape.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, I don't know. What do you guys think? Pickguard or no pickguard? Um, so yeah. So Chris, today we're talking about the State of the Union, and no, we're really not. The State of the Union address is tonight, but we've called this the State of the Union pre-show.
Pre-show.
Yeah, I'm with everybody who says
Don't count the Niners out. That's
don't
all I know.
who okay. Um yeah, so we are I'm not sure where we are on the pickguard versus no pickguard thing, but I think we were it looks like Chris, and take this for
Uh-huh.
well. It looks like no pickguard is something.
Yeah. So here's the real deal.
Okay.
I want to play some of our guitars, but I don't want to scratch them.
Hmm.
So I was, and I'm not going to stick a pick guard on there to stop that, but it's an interesting
What about a
thought
post?
in my head.
What about a
Post-it
bunch of
note,
post-it
a
notes?
bunch of post-it notes like Mickey Baker. Yeah.
Gary Guitar X used to do that. He would put post-it notes on his guitars before
Mhm.
you'd play them so that you didn't
You
scratch
probably
them
got
up.
that idea from Mickey Baker.
Who's Mickey Baker?
Mickey Baker's a
Who's Mickey
jazz guy,
Baker?
and he had an album called The Wildest.
Mhm.
I don't like the album at all, but some people really love it. It's way too jazzy for me. But he's got a jazz master with the aluminum pickguard on it, and it's got a yellow post-it on it. I don't know if you've ever played one of those.
So he put a pick
Well,
guard on his pick guard?
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
okay.
it's one of those anodized gold pick guards.
I
They
know what you're
feel
talking about.
terrible
Yeah.
under my fingers. I hate those
Okay.
things. So I would put a post-it on there too, or blue tape or something.
Or you could just get
Yeah.
a never mind.
Well, I think the album actually came out then, so yeah,
Okay.
there were no plastic pick guards for that guitar.
Okay.
Yeah,
So it was from the 60s or
it is
something?
from the 50s, I
Okay.
think. Yeah,
Okay.
but I could be totally wrong about all of this. But anyway,
Okay.
yeah, post-its.
All right. There you go. You could do that.
Yeah,
Um,
you just not scratch the guitar.
you could try to do that too. Play with
Yeah.
your fingers. I mean,
Your
you could
fingers.
scratch your guitar whether you have a pick
Well,
guard
if it's
or not.
my guitar, then I don't mind as
Yeah.
much. But like the week that I took the Icon home, I
Mhm.
was weekend. I was very conscious of it
It's my
and
phone. That's my phone,
fingernails and
not yours.
stuff.
I need to set my phone to
Yeah, you
not
really do.
pick up any stuff. There we go. I think that should do it. Okay. So Chris, today's State of the Union pre-show, essentially what that means is I have no idea what to talk about tonight.
Okay.
So
Well,
I'm
good.
turning it over to Chris, and I'll see you guys
You
later.
can't do that.
I
You
can,
can.
sir.
I'll just hit end. Call it a night.
Okay. Well, so really, what do you guys want to talk about? What do you want to talk about the state of the nation? Do you want to talk about do you want to talk about the apparently um, uh, minimum wage went up 20% in Mexico, according to the guys at Casino Guitars,
Okay. Yep.
and
California.
maybe they're saying that's the death knell for affordable Mexican guitars. Further into that end, does anybody shop at Casino Guitars? Do you guys know anybody at Casino Guitars? Do you know the guys over there? What are they like? I'd like to meet those dudes.
They seem cool to me.
They seem cool to me too.
California, their minimum wage is $20 now, I think,
Well, I guess
or
that's
will
true. Like
soon be.
if
So,
well, but so in Mexico they said 20% higher, which
yeah,
if it's $1, that's not particularly
$1.20, I
significant.
know,
But if
yeah.
it's $20, then that's yeah.
Price of churros is gonna double.
Well, among other things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So what is that? Because they're talking about fast food and stuff like that in
Oh,
California,
I
like how
don't.
expensive that's gonna get
Oh, it could very well
because of
be.
the
Yeah.
the minimum wage thing.
Hmm.
But that's also going to affect everybody's favorite Big F brand and
Oh,
prices.
really?
And they just had another price increase, I guess, in the last week or so.
Hmm.
So, and I was actually thinking about it. Guitars that were previously, in
Hang loose. Keep.
the 15s in 2015,
Uh,
2013, 2010, guitars that were seemingly affordable and reachable are now double what they used to be from that same company. And it's the same guitar. It's not like they're making, it's some new wonderful process, but they're well over double what they used to be. So,
Um,
but I'm not making double. You making double?
what's half of double? Let's take a quick super chat from Rick. But Shark Air, I want to get back to you here in just a moment. Shark Air sent us a super chat. He says, "I've got something to say. What kind of protective gear do we need for the workshop? Couldn't find anything outlined. There are some videos on PPE. What I need to do, Rick,
Is he talking
is
about his workshop?
yes, he is.
Okay.
I need to send you those videos. I'll send everybody those videos. They're on the web, or they're on the YouTube thing. You can find them. But what I will do is I will write myself a note and staple it to my body so I don't forget. Um, the There are videos that have personal protective equipment. In fact, you know how I'm going to find them? I think if I just type in PPE in our like video search thing, it'll find it. But I think everyone needs to see those, and they might not be watching tonight, so it would be a good thing to hey, here's some of the stuff that you might want. I mean, but like, so I don't know if you have any pre-existing health conditions, but if you have asthma, for example, you might want to wear a dust mask all day, every day, because it gets really dusty in here. And he signed up for the Dylan one, so there's going to be a lot of little tiny ash powder floating around in the wood shop.
Mm-hmm.
And if again, one of the questions on the RSVP thing that I added, did you see this? Do you have any pre-existing conditions that we need to know about? Like, for example, if someone was, I don't know, I'm allergic to peanuts. Okay, that's a good thing to know about. You know what I mean? Do you have an EpiPen? Is there any medical things that we might need to do to help you if you, I don't know, have a glass eye, whatever it is. Um, so yeah. So what I'll do, Rick, is that's a great question. I will find that video and I will share it with everybody who's coming to the workshop. Which was one of the reasons that we started doing videos for the workshop is, here's what you do and here's what you're going to need. Um, but we will supply you with, safety specs. Um,
Yeah, we have some safety glasses. We have ear stuff
uh-huh.
if you need that. Um, Rubber gloves.
Mhm.
That's about it.
But if you want to get in the paint booth and do some paint work,
Mm-hmm.
obviously you're going to need to go like this, or you're going to have a respirator.
Or you're gonna want to get some,
Yeah. So,
kind of respirator mask.
and like it is to me, you're gonna want something to put in your holes because it's loud.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't care about COPD, then yeah, maybe you want to wear maybe you don't care wearing a dust mask all the time, but you probably should.
Yeah, I think a dust mask and eye protection are good ideas. The hearing thing,
Mhm.
I'm not a fan.
Sometimes
Um,
here's what happens, Chris. People wear those things in their ears that block stuff, but then they listen to music.
yeah,
So the problem with those is you're not listening to what the tool is trying to tell you or the wood is trying to tell you as
yeah,
it's being machined.
yeah, and a lot of times you can hear stuff starting to go bad
Mhm.
before it goes bad.
Yeah.
um, routing and chipping and tearing and things like that. You
Yeah.
can sort of hear it winding up. And if you have hearing protection, complete hearing protection in,
Mhm.
you can't hear it at all. And the next thing you know, it's completely wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
You went from better to bad to worse.
yeah.
Okay, so
And
Shark Air,
Matt
who
and I
is
listen
Bob?
to Matt and I listen to everybody working tools, and sometimes we'll both yell
Yep.
out at the same time, "You're going too fast,"
Yep. Yep.
or "You're pushing too hard.
Yep.
Slow down."
The good rule of thumb though is protect your eyes, protect your ears.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so Shark Air, who I think is also Bob, had a question, and he sent me an email earlier, and I didn't get back to him soon enough, so he asked it again. He wanted to know what. Okay, so he wanted to know on his Challenger what size.
It's that one.
Is it this one?
Yep.
Okay, so Bob, aka Shark Air, to adjust the saddle height on your Challenger, you need a.
It says it right there too.
Well, yeah, but what if it's out of order?
It's not.
You don't know that it is or isn't. Can I just do this? Or you here? Bob asked the question. Can you answer him for me?
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I thought I would help you because I can't see that. Save my life.
You are dry humping my last nerve. I saw it on a T-shirt. I've been wanting to say that for a while. Do you want me to get you that?
No.
What about? It's like my mom always said. What are you doing? Okay, all right. So anyway, Bob, aka Shark Air, to adjust the saddle height on your Texas Toast Hipshot bridge, you need a 0.05 Allen key. Okay, and to adjust the intonation screws on the back, you'd probably want this, right? A Phillips number 1.
Yep.
Would you recommend, Chris?
Yep.
You wouldn't want to go any bigger than that. That's for sure.
Nope.
Okay, yeah, number 1. Okay.
Otherwise known as the Little Phillips.
Well, no, there's an even littler one.
There is a littler one, yeah.
There's a
but in my toolbox at home,
actually there's a couple
I
different
have big Phillips and little Phillips.
Yeah. So you need a number 1. There's a triple aught, a double aught, and a single 0.
Yeah.
So, but the point I wanted to make is this little toolkit that I have been attempting to get you guys to buy for the last several weeks. It's this StewMac what I don't even know what it's called. The like a super duper screwdriver.
Mhm.
And the little bits are there's nothing special about the bits except for that they're all there.
Yeah, they're all there, and I actually use one of these every day that I assemble guitars.
Yeah.
I use
And the
5 or 6 of the different bits at least.
yeah. The case is where this thing that's the money up for this. Because
Uh-huh.
you can get these bits at Home Depot which is nice because if you lose these, just go to Home Depot and buy like a mega bit pack and put it back in there.
Yeah.
But this case, as you can see, can fit in something small, like your guitar case or your whatever thing. So yeah, so get one of those, and you will have every tool that you need.
And here's another tip from
Here's
your
a
old
handy
Uncle
tip.
Chris.
Okay.
Don't shove all the bits after you use them here. Put them back where they go. I didn't always do that. It's better if I put the bits back.
I remember one time I went through and I like looked at everything and put it back where they went. That was a pain in the. It's way easier to do it.
It is. Yeah.
Okay, so just go get that tool. Link in the description below, and you know what? If you don't like it, you can say you told me so.
It's got metric Allens. It's got SAE Allens. It's got every flathead you'll ever need in your life. It's got these little thready things.
There's a lot of good stuff in
things there. Yeah. It's a cool little tool. It feels nice. It's got a rubber gripper on it.
I like that the 4mm Allen key for adjusting the truss rod fits in the handle. Which, if you watched my video last time, you know that it does that.
It does do that. Yep. The other nice thing is it's got a drill extension, so you can use this and this. And this and that.
Yeah, you put the what do they call this? Just the extendo piso?
Yeah, they don't even have a name for it.
But you can put this in the screwdriver part that comes in the case, see, to make it longer for adjusting intonation screws. Or you can take this and put it in your drill, and you can mechanize your screwing in and out.
Yep, you buy a halfway decent drill with a clutch so you don't strip it and knock yourself out.
Yep.
Wrist twist no more.
Yeah.
So it's a cool tool. I dig it.
Okay.
This portion of the show brought to you by StewMac.
Well,
StewMac.
the whole show is brought to you by StewMac because we get a little taste every time you guys use our link below to buy something from StewMac. Okay, doesn't matter what it is, and it doesn't cost you anything to use our link. So
nope,
use the link. Okay. So anyway, what else were we talking about? We have nothing. We have absolutely
We have
nothing
nothing?
to talk about.
Nothing at all?
But you know what? It's nice to hang out with you guys at home. Chris, it's nice to hang out with you too, but I hang out with you
You hang out with me,
daily.
yeah,
Um,
a couple hours a day.
yeah, easily, yeah. Um, so Alan says he's getting hammered with ads. Well, sir, that's another thing that one of the things about making let's talk about the state of the YouTube channel for a moment.
Okay.
Um, I'm running out of ideas.
For the YouTube channel?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm like, I don't know what you guys want to watch. Um, but
There has been some conversation about that
there has been
in
a
the
lot of
last few
conversation
weeks.
about how people aren't watching videos anymore.
Okay.
You
Is
know,
that a thing in the world?
oh well,
Or
how about
just our
well,
videos
they're certainly not watching our videos like they used to.
like they
Take, for
used to?
example, like right now, we have 67 people watching, which is low.
Mhm.
I don't
Maybe
know
they're watching
why.
the State of the Union.
Perhaps. I'm not sure what else they're watching. Maybe somebody else has a show right now that is more popular than us. How hard would that be? But but
With this kind of witty banter?
yeah, yeah.
Impossible.
So what do you guys want to see? And but take this, man. I may not like what you have to say. You know what I mean? And I might be like, "Well, okay, that's a great idea."
Yeah, I'll get right on
Right.
that.
So somebody the other day said, after the intonation video, they're like, "Cool. How do you do it on a Floyd Rose?" Which is a terrific question because the Floyd Rose is a little different from just I'm going to say regular, the bridge that we use.
Uh-huh.
You kind of got to hold your mouth right and get stuff in there and wedge stuff, and it makes it easy if you have a specialty tool. But I think, how many people are going to watch a video about adjusting intonation on a Floyd Rose equipped bridge? It's not 1986 anymore.
Yeah.
There's, you know, uh, uh, 50% of the guitars don't have Floyd Rose or more like they used to back then. You know what I mean?
Not
So,
if you ask Mike Learn,
well, okay, but who's
but I
going to ask
understand.
Mike Learn? So, yeah, it's. But the fact is, if I did a video that was how to adjust intonation on a Floyd Rose, a couple of people would go, "Oh, hey, that's neat. I didn't know that's how you did it," or "I didn't know about that tool," or and there'd be a couple of people who probably said something disparaging. But but the fact is that it wouldn't be like again, it's not 1986. Poison isn't on MTV. I don't even know what's on MTV. But
Not
but
poison.
but yeah, there's no you don't hear Night Ranger every single second in Guitar Center. So the need for that video might be lessened. Let's take a super chat from Doc who says uh, any tips for gluing maple tops onto semi-hollow mahogany bodies with tight bond? Doc, are you asking like for a video version of that, or you just want to know um
Any tips?
like right now? I tell you what, Doc, and you may really you're either gonna like this answer or you're gonna hate this answer. Um Gluing maple tops to a semi-hollow back. Take all the clamps that you have and throw them away and get a bearing press and do like we do here.
It's way easier.
It's way easier. The startup cost, frankly, the startup cost is more than a bunch of clamps.
Mm-hmm.
But the quality of the glue joint is superior in every way. Um, it takes up it actually takes up less room than a bunch of clamps in some ways, I think. You know what I mean? Because you get a bunch of clamps, you're like, Jesus, what do I do with these? You can't like have a box full of clamps. I mean, you can,
Yeah.
but you kind of got to put them somewhere where you can get to them easy, and that they can be manipulated. But I'm not saying that clamps aren't a good thing to have in any woodworking shop because, as you guys know, they are. But gluing tops on, we've tried a bunch of different ways, and the best way, far and away, the best way is that bearing press that we have. And Doc, do you know what I'm talking about when I say that? Doc might not have seen it.
Trying to think if we used it in any of the. I know it's been here when he's been here, but
Yeah,
we
but
may
he
not have
might
used
he
it.
might not have actually
Yeah,
gotten to
we have
try it.
actually done. How many bodies did we do? 6
6 or 8, yeah.
or 8 at the same
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
stacked up in there.
So what it is it's a bearing press, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so it's a bearing press, and we bought ours at
Oh,
Harbor Freight.
mhm.
It's not a great one.
It was the second from the smallest one they had.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was big enough to get what, a 24 by
something like that, yeah.
12? Yeah, 24-inch. Yeah, wide.
So we bought this thing and put it together, and then we took a bunch of MDF and we made a base. We glued a bunch of MDF together so it was like 4 inches
Glued and
thick.
screwed it. Yep.
And then so that's the base. And then we did another one of those. That's the top. So what you do is you put that on the bearing press, you put the guitar body in, then you put frankly, 4 sheets of MDF is probably enough to do what we're doing with the bearing press. But
Yeah.
man, you go to getting that crank thing on there and you get squeeze out everywhere. And like Chris was saying, you can do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe more bodies at a
You
time.
can do fretboards onto neck blanks.
Yep.
That
Yep.
works really, really well.
Yep. It sure does.
Especially if you're doing a bunch of them and you run out of clamps, because that's what happens.
That is what
You
happens.
run out of
Yeah.
clamps and then you go, oh shit, what do I do now?
So and I
Yeah.
prefer that setup to the vacuum setup that we had before.
Yeah, I'm the vacuum thing was kind of cool, but this works way better. You can also use it to keep stuff flat when you're not using it.
Yeah.
Like you have tops and backs and thin pieces of wood that you're worried are gonna go all cattywampus on you.
Because
will.
that was something that we learned even when using the vacuum thing, is that you put it in there and it doesn't actually apply any, it just provides suction. I guess it's force,
Yeah,
but it's not something that hold it.
doesn't hold it flat.
Yeah, so if
It'll
you
actually curl right up.
yeah, if you imagine that you had this in a vacuum bag, it could still go like this.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
Whereas if
come
you
out of the vacuum
you
bag
put it,
worse than it went in.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And with the press,
Mhm.
no such worries. I've seen people use old wine presses for the same thing.
But frankly, okay, and I
If
have
somebody
too.
gave me one of those, that would be a way to go.
But like, yeah, when's the last time you saw a wine press? Like, oh, I'm just gonna run out and grab that today.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, a bearing press is something that is available immediately. Doc says that yes, he used that press. The alignment pins are still used? Question mark. Absolutely. As a matter of fact, Doc, the alignment pins are way easier with that. Back in the old days, we were we would use we would drill on board pins
Mhm.
for stuff and then press them in that squeeze in the bearing press and just give it the, what'd you call it, anaconda squeeze,
Oh yeah, anaconda squeezed.
and just, yeah, just press the holy living uh mess out of it. And but yeah, the off-body alignment pins keep the top from shifting around, and it's
Yeah. And so the way that we do that is it's nice because you can, put your template on your top
Mhm,
and drill your off-body alignment pin holes, and
mhm.
it'll just drop right on. Don't glue the pins in, keep glue away from that. Um, but yeah, it works really well because then you just smear your glue, slap your top on, and throw it in the press. You don't have to worry about it moving or shifting
Yeah.
or any of that. There is no salt needed.
No, don't put salt on your glue.
Don't do that even if you don't have pins. But
One thing that we try to remember to do is we try to think, where are the pickups going to go,
mm,
and then we put 2 drywall screws in the
yeah,
middle of that to kind of help hold it in place.
yeah, you can do that, and
Remember,
I've
we used
also
to think
forgotten to do that, and it was totally fine.
more often than not, I've forgotten to do it, and I'm like, oh no,
Yeah,
because it's right in the middle of the guitar, and you think, well, but it's mashing in the center and all. Yeah, so
yeah.
we used to think that adding screws was something that would put like a little extra
Still do it if
in there.
there wasn't pressure in that area.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. you did a video where you glued a top on using only screws.
Yeah, and that works too. But
Mhm.
but I think Doc said what's the best, or maybe he said
Yeah,
what's the
that
good
was
way.
the best way.
It's far from the best,
That's
but
way
he
too
did
many
good.
screws.
Yeah.
Way too much time.
Butch Landry wants to know where to get some of that black fretboard wood. Butch, I think so that originally came from Luthier's Mercantile. And as you guys may know, Luthier's Mercantile is out of business. However, I have it on good authority that StuMac either is getting some or has some. Where they got it, I don't know. What it actually is, I don't know. I think it's roasted granadillo. Mostly because the first time that I ever saw roasted granadillo was at the NAM show. Dan from at the time
It was guitar wood
guitar
experts.
wood experts, now tone wood experts had some,
Mhm.
and it was just jet black wood, and it was like, yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah, and he said, I can't tell you much about it now, but don't worry, we'll have a bunch of it.
That was the last time I
Never
saw it
any more of it. Yeah.
until I started buying it from Steve. Yeah, and Steve was getting it from LMI,
Yeah.
and I don't know where he's getting it now, but yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
So StuMac may have it at some point
I
coming up.
yeah.
They may already have it. We just don't know.
Yep.
But yeah, we have it on good authority that yeah, that information was shared from LMI to StuMac.
Yeah. Rick has another question. He says, how about a video about how to fill and recut a shifty fret slot? How's that done? I've looked and couldn't find that. Okay, so Rick, tell me if I'm right or wrong here. Like, let's say okay, first of all, shifty fret slot on an existing guitar, or shifty or fret slot that you got in wrong when you slotted it with your fretboard fret slotting saw, or what? So, um,
Is this a new build?
yeah,
Is this an existing guitar?
the answer to each one will be slightly different.
Yeah. Is the fret slot just too wide now? It's been refretted a bunch.
If you have a fret slot that's too wide, I know that Stuart McDonald makes a tool that it's a tang enlarger, almost like it just puts like a corrugation in the
Oh yeah.
tang
Yeah. If
so
you
that
ever
it grabs a little better.
Yeah, if you ever look at specs, and I'm actually convinced of this, they give you tang specs, and the tangs will be wider and longer and deeper
Yeah.
or shorter, and I'm pretty sure that's so you can sort of specify the wire you need to refret
Yeah.
something. Presumably you might want it slightly deeper. You can deepen the slot and then use wire that the tang is a little deeper and get it to seat really well and stay in place. So
Generally on existing guitars though, Rick, that is done with epoxy and some sort of powdered medium. Usually, if you're doing it on a rosewood or ebony board, use rosewood or ebony dust and epoxy or some kind of adhesive, and you kind of make a spot where you kind of additive manufacturing your fret slot smaller. If you are doing it on a new build and it's never been fretted before, the best thing to do is, and you've got to keep going, is to get a piece of veneer that's exactly the same fretboard material, rosewood or ebony, and fill it, glue it in, grind it all back down, and recut the fret slot. I can't tell you, when I was at Roberto Venn in 1989, we didn't have, we had fret rulers. We didn't have fret slot things that you put it in the saw and crank it or push it through or something. There was nothing. We had a table saw with a fret slotting blade, and it was all kind of like it was all done by eye.
by eye.
I mean, you had a little mark, and then you'd get your fret ruler out and line everything up and go, nope, this one's bad, this one's bad, this one's bad. And you glue a bunch of new ebony in and then recut them. And then sometimes you'd have to do them again. And it was so, so if you're talking about that, I have firsthand experience with repairing and shifting fret slots, thousandths of an inch over to one side. And that does work, though it's not fun. The best way to do that is to the best way to repair that, of course, is, as you know what I'm gonna say, not have it happen. But yeah. Okay. Um, hmm. Uh, uh, Hi, Van Shank Guitars. He says he's late, but he's here. All right. Well, so what else you guys want to talk about? Like I said, I'm out of ideas, and you guys have given me some ideas for videos for Sunday. But I mean, is it time for the Sunday video to just like we bid farewell to the Sunday video?
Boy, it's been a staple for so long.
Uh-huh.
Boy, I don't know.
I don't know either. Okay, at some point, either people have to start watching them, or I'm just talking to myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and I'm not saying that you guys aren't. Don't take that the wrong way, because I appreciate everyone watching now and everyone who's going to be watching later. Um, but the fact of the matter is that the reason that people aren't watching is because they're not interested. So if I want to make content that is has a broader audience, I think I
Uh-huh.
need to make something more interesting. And I don't know what in the heck that is. All right, Dylan Talks Tone says,
Ooh, okay.
I'm excited to come build guitars. Now that's another thing. Rick, I don't know if you know this, but Dylan's going to be here for your workshop, and um, we are looking forward to that too.
Can I tell a little Dylan story?
Absolutely. Are you going to talk about why Dylan's a never mind?
So earlier today we were talking about how we didn't really have a subject for tonight. And I said, well, let's steal an idea from somebody else. Let's steal an idea from Dylan. Let's just do the same exact video that Dylan did.
Let me add one.
Uh-huh.
So I said, which one?
I said, let's call our tonight's video, Why is Dylan a Jerk? I mean, if you're gonna steal a
If you're gonna
video,
swipe a
go
video,
all the way. Yeah. Not why Matt and Chris are jerks, which is what everybody would expect.
Well,
Why is Dylan a jerk?
I was a little
I have
uncomfortable with
10 points that I want to make. Number one.
I was a little uncomfortable about why Dylan's a jerk video, so I didn't watch any of it because I'm like,
Maybe
okay,
strike a little too close to home.
maybe, yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what was said.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think when you title the video that, you give a lot of
Uh-huh.
you take away a lot of firepower from a lot of people. So it was
Okay.
a masterful move on his part,
Yeah.
calling it that,
Yeah.
because probably, I don't know, 4 out of 5 comments were, "Oh, no, you're not a jerk, Dylan,"
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm sure
which
that
meant
that's what.
really 20% of the people said, "Yeah, you're a jerk."
Well, so I think that Dylan uh talks about stuff that's not guitar related necessarily.
Yeah.
And so Dylan says that deserves another super chat.
Yeah. They're
Thank you,
stealing
Dylan.
all my ideas. Yeah.
Um, like I think it's a funny thing to put yourself out there on the internet and say the reason that I like this StewMac tool, or the reason that I like Gibson guitars, or the reason that I like PV amps, or whatever it is, you open yourself up for some ridicule. So
Mhm.
let's see what Paul sent us a super chat and says. Uh, we watch them once and use them as a reference. Now that's actually one of the things that a lot of YouTube,
Yeah.
like for example, you don't need to know how to repair a refrigerator compressor. You need to have the video, right?
Mhm.
Obviously, if you know what you're doing, that helps. But Tony says the strap video was the best one ever, in my honest opinion, but I'm very biased about it. Tony, what are we doing with your guitar? Are we? I talked to Dylan about it, and I think because he moved and he's been crazy busy. But I'm like, are we sending the guitar to Dylan? Are we sending it to you? Because I'm ready to put that thing in a box and get it shipped out. Let me know,
Yeah,
Tony. Send
frankly,
me
it's
it.
in the way.
Frankly, it's in the way.
It's not.
Yeah.
But
No, it's not. It's I want you to have your guitar, and I don't know. I mean, it's good to go, or we can send it to Dylan. He can do something. I'm not sure what you guys have. I think there was some stuff that we didn't know about, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think. Yeah, yeah,
So yeah, that thing is badass. That
yeah.
guitar
It
is
turned out great.
awesome.
Yep. Yeah, it's cool.
So Tony says it's supposed to go to Dylan. He can work his magic. All right.
Cool.
Only we have Dylan's old address.
Yeah. Well, we can get the new. I actually think the new. I think the box that he just sent us has his new address on it.
Okay.
So we'll look it up. Dylan's going to be here in a couple weeks
Couple of
too.
weeks.
So
Alan Pettibone says, my question of the night is, can you explain your beverage choices? They seem out of character. And Van Shankatar sent us a super chat and says, I always try to watch all your videos, Matt and Chris. Thank you so much, sir.
good.
So, Chris, what's your beverage choice?
So I'm enjoying a fine Pilsner beer.
Okay.
Miller Lite.
I'm drinking water.
There you go.
Now I guess I don't know what the
I think really it's the water.
yeah, I was gonna say,
So
I don't know what Alan thinks is uncharacteristic about you. Maybe he thinks you drink
usually,
for a long time we drank nothing but Coors Light, and we took nothing but
yeah,
positive things for
browbeating every
Mhm.
week for drinking Coors Light.
um
Yeah, and we're both drinking a lot less. I think you're drinking not at all
I'm
for the most part.
I'm not really drinking alcohol these days. Every so often I will,
Yeah.
but very rarely. I stopped I stopped drinking last October for the month. And I'm like, mostly just to see if I could do it.
Uh-huh.
And and I'm like, meh. But on November 1, I had some beers and I felt like crap. And I'm like, you know what? I kind of want to feel better.
Yeah.
So I think I'm just maybe I'm aging out of being interested in alcohol. And frankly, like heavier spirits
Yeah.
have never been something that I've really enjoyed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Every so often I'll have like some wine, joy, and I'll have something, I'll have wine.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'll have like a beer, like if we're going to get uh nachos or something. Or
It's like how that's where you went with that.
well, the
Yeah.
the
I
last
don't
time
know. We're going out getting nachos.
I mean, well, we actually went to the Trace Garcias down the street the couple of weeks ago, and I didn't get nachos, but I did have a beer, and I can't remember what I got. I think like those tacos.
Uh-huh.
And sometimes a beer tastes really good with that, but
Mm-hmm.
I rarely finish it anymore. Um, or I spill it at Ike's area
Like
rug.
carpet.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Area rug.
so yeah, so I'm not really drinking that much anymore.
Yeah. We should do a large Matt and Chris comparison video. Because I get
Matt.
well, I get to YouTube feeds me
Uh-huh.
lots of our old videos because I just love Texas toast so much. They have no idea.
Yeah.
So I'll see oh yeah, this video or that video, and I'll click on it for a second and go, oh, look at that. Yeah, we both have big dumb beards and
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. A bunch of COVID weight.
Yeah.
Sure, let's call it that.
Oh, you're losing a bunch of weight, and I'm attempting to look better naked. I've been going to the gym, and I've been going to bed early and getting up pretty early.
Yeah,
I get up at 5 to go to the gym, sometimes a little before, but
yeah. But so some of those old videos are pretty funny to watch because it's like, oh my God, So yeah. And the funny thing about this is not me. I am not this wide, but the chair makes it look like
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
that
you should
wide.
wear a
I
white
should wear a
t-shirt.
white t-shirt or get a white chair.
Doc says that if that guitar over there that he bought and paid for is in the way, we can send it to him. Doc, can you send me the address on that one again, sir? Is that going to Sault Ste. Marie or is that going to where is it
We
going?
should,
Let me know.
send it to the.
Because I kind of space it out. But yeah, it needs to get down the road. Alan says it looks like I've lost a bunch of weight.
Mhm.
It's not a bunch, but it's a couple 3 pounds here and there. So yeah. But thank you.
You've been on a face diet.
Face diet.
Yeah.
Michael Mann asks if you wanted to use a sticker or picture on a guitar too, would it be similar to the process of doing a fabric top? Uh,
Yes.
yes, it would be similar, but you would need to be more careful because if you sand through your sealer coat to the fabric, it kind of magically reappears when you put more sealer on.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
If you used a picture or like wallpaper or what the original Paisley fenders were shelf paper, right?
Yeah, I think it was wallpaper, but yeah.
If you sanded through the top or the protective layer on top of the paper finish
Mm-hmm.
into the paper, and then you sprayed more on it, it looked like you had it looked like you
Like you
sanded
sanded
through
through, yeah.
because you did, yeah. So, and I'm not saying that you can just really hog on the sander and burn through to the fabric every single place.
Yeah, that's not actually a good thing to do.
But if you do in some spots, it kind of goes away with the subsequent rounds
It
of
can,
sealer.
yeah, if you're lucky.
Mhm.
Yeah. You can also burn all the way through,
You can also burn all the way through.
and then it's time for a burst.
Chris, let's talk about why burst finishes are cool and why companies use burst finishes.
Um, uh, I don't know how to answer this question. I think bursts are often used to hide areas that are hard to sand,
Yeah.
to make look right, and hide end grain tear out
Mhm.
and things like that. They look cool,
Mhm.
but I think really the whole notion of it is, oh, well, let's just hide a bunch of this stuff
It's a way to
under,
hide
yeah,
stuff.
dark color. So, and I think that's the way violins are, and I think there's a reason for that.
Yeah. But generally speaking, anytime where there's dark paint or opaque paint, something's being hidden.
Yeah. Sanding scratches are being disguised
That's right.
yeah, black
Uh,
paint. Yeah. Yeah,
Gold
well,
top
and when
Les
you don't.
Pauls don't have 3A flame maple
Nope,
underneath that paint.
nope. I saw a guy on Facebook that was making a, recreation of a gold top Les Paul that had been stripped back, and he used an off-center maple top.
Mhm.
It was like 1 inch off.
That's
And he's
funny.
like, "Yeah, this is the height of guitar nerdery, but this is the way we're doing it."
Yeah.
But it was pretty wood, and he's like, and yeah, some guy got lucky that that when he stripped the gold off his guitar, it was better looking than it should be, even if it was off center. So, yeah.
Joey Dano guitar says, Dougie likes tequila. He's talking about tequila. Yeah.
Uh-huh. I
I
think
know
Dougie likes the vodka
I know
too.
Dougie likes some of that
We
stuff.
still
And
have we still have a bottle of vodka
you
in the
know,
freezer that was Doug's from the last time he
it
was
still
here.
is
It's
Doug.
still there. I don't go into the freezer very often, but every time I do, I'm like, "Oh yeah, there's Dougie's vodka."
So here an important takeaway is I'm not like sober. You know what I mean? There's no court order telling me I just don't feel good when I drink, so I just kind of stop drinking.
Yeah.
Um it's the funny thing is how easy it is to do over at gyms. You would think it wouldn't be easy, and there was a time when it was not easy to not drink at gyms.
Oh, you're saying it's easy to not drink at
The
gyms?
last time I went over there, I had a beer.
I'll have to try that.
I had a beer when I went over there, and then we went out for Mexican food. I didn't have any drinks. We came back to gyms and had drink, and I think I had a ginger ale or something,
Yeah,
and I felt good the next day.
yeah.
So yeah. So again, I'm not sober. I didn't get a DUI. I don't have. I'm trying to think of things that people might be thinking about
Oh,
why I'm not
yeah.
drinking. Um, I don't.
The
Yeah, I
funny
don't.
thing to me was that you were saying a little bit about how you feel a little condescending
I do feel.
towards people.
I do feel a little, and I
How do you
don't
feel
like
about
it.
me right now?
I don't care.
Okay,
I
good. That's the right
That's
response.
right, Chris. I have never
You
cared
know,
less for you. Wait, that's
I'm appalled and ashamed
I don't.
to be sitting next to
I,
you,
I think that people should drink as much as they want. I mean, yeah, I say go
or
for it.
not at all.
So here's my thing. I ate a bunch of crap food today. Do you feel any differently about me than? I mean, you already don't like me, so is that like do you, do you not like me more than you did?
No, I might actually be a little jealous.
Okay, because I ate a how it's like after a while you're like, man, I don't care. So yeah, so I'm trying to not eat chips and I'm trying to not eat
Hmm.
fast food and I'm trying to not I still do, but I'm just trying to not eat it as much. And I'm
Well,
trying to
I
not
think
eat
it's one thing to eat it all the time. It's another
Mhm.
thing to eat it occasionally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You're, yeah. You're not going to die because you had chips once
No.
a
No.
week or something like that.
So
Yeah,
yeah, so I say yeah, I knew someone was gonna ask me if I got a DUI and I didn't. Yeah, I don't have one of those things you have to blow in the car. Yeah,
I do, but just for fun.
just for fun.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a game show.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, so I really just like the way that I feel when I don't eat like garbage and don't get drunk every night and yeah. So, but I don't care what anybody else does. In fact, I support with
You're
my last dying breath your right to do that.
right to, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. You really don't care what anybody else does or
No,
says or thinks.
I try to not. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Oh, wow. Now, Chris, now see, okay, now as I start belly aching about it, there's 107 people watching this
Yeah.
video.
That
Thank you
means
guys for
the
tuning in.
yeah, State of the Union must be over.
Well, no, I don't think it's begun yet.
I don't think so either.
So yeah, so thank you guys for hanging out with us. I'm sorry that we're just sort of free for all in here, but so it comes up a lot. Like what happens when like Phil McKnight goes for 2 hours and gosh, he has lots and lots of people. I think what his deal is, he kind of interacts with his community a little more. And sometimes we don't do that. And
Yeah.
like when we were at Ike's the last time, for one thing, I couldn't see the screen. I had no idea who was commenting on stuff. So maybe people were like asking questions and they were like, they're not answering any of my stuff. I'm gonna tune out. I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so we probably should interact a little more with you guys. If it works for you to type in lots of question marks like Brian Mills did and said, speaking of fabric tops, how's the leopard print challenger coming? It's
Tune in tomorrow.
tune in tomorrow, sir. Um, we actually have two fabric tops that are we gonna do two tomorrow?
Yeah, we could, yeah, let's do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Two
Okay.
fabric tops.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Little sneak preview.
yeah, they're pretty
It's killer,
excellent.
dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. You
Uh,
might wet your pants.
well, Tony said that he
Don't do
almost
it.
he almost pooped his pants. I don't think he did. Well,
Way
no,
to
he
go.
said that,
Yeah.
but I don't think he actually did.
Not because of the guitar though.
No, I think it was precisely because of because that guitar turned out so good. Doc said, "Ding, ding, ding, strap, ding, ding, ding." Oh, yeah, that's right. Doc and Douglas both
Yep.
have
I
straps.
did actually work on those.
Hmm.
Progress is being made. They're
Okay.
getting closer and closer.
Devin has a question that I really wish I had a better answer for you, Devin. Has there been any update on the McKnight guitar? Okay, so Phil McKnight actually has two Texas Toast Challengers. He has a level 1 and he has a level 2 maple top. He I don't know what Phil does, but like this Monday I was out at Steve's shop, and on my way out there I called Phil to see if I could get in touch with him because it's a long way to go to Steve's. And usually when Phil and I get to talking, I think usually when Phil and anybody get to talking, they go for a while. But when Phil and I get to talking about stuff, we go for a little bit. And I'm like, this would be a great time to talk to him. And the last time he sent me a text, he's like, hey, call me in a week or so and let's figure out what to do with these guitars. And I just haven't gotten with him. I mean, I just haven't. I've tried a couple, 3 times, and I'm trying, and it's not. But he has a level 2 that is his guitar, and he has the level 1 that is going to be a guitar that I would like to have be a prize. However, I don't have the guitar. Phil has it. I need to figure out with him how he wants to work that, but I want that to be like you can win this Texas Toast Challenger level 1, no money,
Yeah.
no purchase required to play, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that, but I think Phil does giveaways and stuff, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so he
I
probably
think
does.
he's got a lot of stuff on his
Yeah,
plate, and he's got
yeah.
a lot of products. And I actually watched a video of his the other day, and he said basically that same thing. And it's just going to take a little while
Yeah,
for it to happen. And
yeah.
just because there hasn't been anything
Mhm,
doesn't mean that there's not going to be
mhm.
anything. It just takes a little while.
Yeah,
So yeah, I think Phil blocks out his day. A lot of people block out 15-minute tasks. Everything Phil does is 2 hours. Oh, I'm going to talk to Matt, 2 hours.
yeah,
I'm going to do
yeah.
a live stream, 2 hours.
Well, and I think too that you usually budget more money and more time for any endeavor, and that's
Yeah,
a good
yeah.
idea.
So
Um,
there will be something sooner or later.
I was cracking up
It's
because
just not
Tom
quite
said,
as fast.
"Almost, how can you fail at pooping your pants?" Hey, you know who's here?
It was just
Dick
wind.
Edwards, back after missing a few episodes, not digging the background. Did we get to vote? No, you didn't. So yeah,
Dick Edwards.
yeah, you know that guy.
Richard?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the same.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Sorry you don't
I
like the
mean,
background.
don't like the
That's what
background?
it says. I don't like the background.
Mm.
And I don't think Chris has a good haircut. Hey, the barber down the street today came and gave me his card and said, "You have terrible hair. You need a haircut immediately." And I'm like, "Wow, dude.
Did he say it
Great."
like that, or was there? I mean, let's be honest.
First of all, it's funnier if no, he didn't. But
No?
no. But I can't. I'm not gonna try to do a impersonation.
Okay.
But I'm like, I don't think that's necessarily a good way to. I don't like run over to everybody playing
Rich,
guitar and go,
yeah.
"Your guitar's terrible. You need to get a new one immediately."
You don't have a guitar in here?
Yeah,
You need a guitar. Maybe do that. Yeah. Go into
yeah,
his shop. I'm not getting a haircut here. You don't have a guitar.
yeah. What's the big idea, Mr. Barber Man?
Frankly, when that place moved in, I was like, why?
Mhm, mhm.
And I'm surprised it's still there. And he's driving around handing out cards.
Yeah, yeah, he was
So,
basically accosting me when I was taking the trash out.
yeah. Oh, and this is the block that you want to hit
Uh-huh.
people up for haircuts,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Homeless row. Hey, you want a haircut?
Yeah. Queen Music says, "Can I send you my guitar so y'all can install and route my ESP 1000 for a Les Paul style for a foot?"
Can I
No,
answer?
yeah, yeah, sure.
Nope.
Yeah, we don't really do any
No, we don't do repair
mods
or
and
mods.
repairs and
Yeah,
stuff.
that's outside of we used to do stuff like that,
Mhm.
but we don't do that stuff anymore.
But I'm sure there's somebody in your neighborhood in your community that can do that.
Yeah.
Um, if you live anywhere near a, if you live in any state of the union, there is a city there where somebody will do that for you.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yep.
where you live,
Yeah.
but yeah,
It would take us forever to get to it.
yeah, dude. People are buying Challengers like crazy. You guys, okay? Devin, remember when Devin said, "What's up with the Phil McKnight guitars?" I hope that we are caught up by the time that Phil says the Challengers are cool because it's already exploded. And now with the American Icon stuff, I mean that's another thing that's just like we sold a bunch of those, and I'm taking a lot of I take a lot of pride in how fast our turnaround is these days. But as soon as Phil says as soon as Phil tells you guys what he told me, we're not going to be able to keep them in stock. The 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 turnaround time is going to go back up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So so I'm trying to work on a bunch of stuff right now and just and I know you're like, guys, there's a bunch of guitars that need paint and assembly, and I'm like, God, there's a bunch that need everything else done, and so the Challenger guitars, and to a slightly lesser extent, but I think it's just because people haven't really caught on to how to do it yet. The American Icon, they're so new. Those guitars are so fun. I think as soon as we get Ike's done, it's just going to be like everything's just going to blow up. But yeah, if you guys want a Challenger and you want an American Icon, get your order in fast because it's already we're already getting like a little behind because there's so many orders. But yeah, but we're still in that we're really busy. And it's hard to keep up, but we're managing. But like I said, as soon as Phil says, as soon as Phil tells 325,000 people that these guitars are awesome, well, it's gonna go. You're gonna be waiting long. So get your order in if you want one. So,
And then you can say, I knew about that before Phil even talked about it.
Yeah, yeah. Queen music. Sorry. Yeah. Thanks for being cool about that, my friend. Yeah. We just don't do it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. My answer was kind of dicky. Didn't mean it for it to come off like that, but yeah, we don't do that stuff anymore.
Chris Hendricks sent us a super chat and says, because they're amazing designs at amazing prices. Thank you, sir. All right. So hey, it's time to go. It's time for Dylan to do his thing. So go over and check out Dylan McCurchie and his lovely wife Leslie over at Dylan Talks Tone. We will see you guys tomorrow for a super cool reveal. Have a good night, everybody, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.